Oscar's here. It's Saturday morning. He's been washing the Merlots off. That needs a bit of a wash, actually, doesn't it? Yeah. A little solace with this log splitter and the brush on. The barley at the bottom of the yard that was sown really late, even from the house now, you can see a green tinge to it. So we'll go and have a little look at that. And then I'll probably go and have a look and see how some of the wheat's doing that we've been drilling as well. Yeah, this is a bit double sown on the headland. The green tinge to it, but I'm not sure if there's a bit missed there. That triangle maybe, I don't know. It's definitely growing. Look into the sun, you can probably see it a bit better. Just a bit puddle in the gateway where the tractors have been in and out on the sprayer. Oscar's just washed this off, but I'm after going to shoot down a field with it now because we've been getting quite a bit of fly tipping and four-wheel drives driving on, so I need to go and block the gateway. I think there's a poacher block there, so and a bale of straw, but I actually might just block it with some fly tipping. You can see here where cars have been driving in, and obviously we've got this fly tipping. There's a poacher block here, so I'll try and do something, but the gate's got rammed off. You can't even see him because of the sun. But I'll try and block it up with whatever we've got here. Right, yes. So, got that gate round. That's the one that's completely rammed off. Them bales are knackered, they won't work. I've got the fly tipping now to the edge. I'll push that in a bun, then I'll get the poacher block and put it in the middle. Annoyingly, I should have done it on a frost. When we had that hard frost, was it Thursday morning? That would have been the perfect time to scrape this off the field, because we've now got some ruts. Want some match put into it, really, that, but under the power lines we can't really. It's not particularly pretty, but hopefully they can't get on the field now without driving through all that and getting punches or trying to mount the poacher block. Randomly, someone was asking how a muck spreader works. Now, I don't know whether it's because people have been talking about muck spreaders a lot recently with protests and the like. So I'll show you. It's relatively simple, I suppose. In fact, it's beautifully simple, so I'll show you. First of all, I'll start with the front. We've got a power drive shaft coming in. If you look, we've put this counter on that's Bluetooth. That will tell us how many rotations the shafts do and how many hours, so we know when to grease it. Drive shaft goes forwards. We've got some hydraulic pipes to operate the bed chain and the rear door and the brakes. So the drive shaft comes through the middle of the machine underneath the chassis. Can I get underneath without getting too wet? See that tube there? That goes all the way to the back to a gearbox in the centre. Then, if I don't knock my ears off on this rake, getting past it, I'll show you here. Drive shaft comes in, gearbox there. That then is a bit like a differential on a car on the rear axle. So power comes in from the front and it splits it left to right. This then drives this, what we call the right hand gearbox, and then that one's the left hand gearbox, and the shafts then go up. So imagine the powers come this way, then been turned 90 degrees, then 90 degrees again, up to what the rear beaters are. So now I'll show you the rear beaters. So this is the rear beaters. They are just like big corkscrews. If you look, they spin that way and they lift the muck up to the top, chop it up with these teeth and throw it as wide as possible because they spin really quickly. So they're sat on a gearbox underneath. So if you look now, that's the beaters, yeah. And we go immediately below and there's a gearbox there, see? And then the drive shafts come from the front into there. So you set them spinning pretty quickly. These things at the bottom are like paddles. They like launch it a bit like a cricket bat launches a ball. They hit the muck and spread it out. Then there's what's called a bed chain, which is there. So this chain here, and then this chain that side. On it has little tabs. These tabs have these bits of box section fastened onto them that every foot, say. And the chain then runs front to back, so it goes round this sprocket, across the bottom of the floor, pulls the muck to the back, comes all the way to the back, drops it onto them beaters, jump, they grab hold of the muck, throw it out the back, then the chain then returns along the bottom. You might not be able to see, there's the slats of the chain there, see 2 of them, 3 of them on there as well. They run in a channel all the way to the front and round this sprocket at the front, which you can see the, I don't know, it's like a roller really. So it's just like a conveyor belt in the checkout, but it's made of metal and chain. That is driven by this hydraulic motor here. So that motor basically has a worm gear on that spins, turns a cog, then another cog to reduce the speed down, because that'll be spinning quite fast, and it turns really slowly. And you can set the speed of that from a dial on the front inside. Oh, there it is there. I thought you had to open the door, but you don't. And that sets the speed, so you can control how much muck it puts on by how fast you drive, or how slow you drive, or how fast that chain pushes them up to the beaters at the back. Now, I'm going to climb up inside and show you what it looks like inside. I'll put that there, clip that, so this ladder's not steep. This board we put on the top ourselves. There's the one on the other side. And the idea with that was, gives a little bit more capacity. And it's something for the bucket to hit when you're loading it with muck, so we don't damage or dent the frame of the machine. So there's the bed chain there now. So you can see every foot, piece of box section, that moves along slowly, pushes it there. Now that door, that's what's called a slurry door. So if you've got runny muck or muck that's quite liquid, it would ooze out through the spinners, the beaters at the back, which sit horizontal here. So you put that door down when you're loading it, you drive to where you're spreading, you set the beaters spinning, then you slowly open the door and the muck falls out the back, assisted by these bars, onto the spinning decks. I think this holds about 12 or 14 ton of muck. In fact, let me just see what the model number is. I think it's a 10 tonner, but we've put these extensions on the top. I think it's like about 12 or 14 ton now. Big wheel at the back just to keep it up, but not too wide so you can still fit it down the road. But that, in 5 minutes, is how a muck spreader works. So them pipes control the door, and then pipes control the bed, which I've just shown you. So it has two hydraulic services, flow and return. So that's 4 pipes and a drive shaft. And there you go. That is pretty simple. Oh yeah, it also has this snazzy thing that you might have seen when we were putting the new door in the other week. When you lift the slurry door on these black rams here that lift it up and down, it then operates this mechanism here, which shuts this, which keeps the lights covered. Because when you're spreading muck, it's flying around, it's dusty, it's mucky, it's slimy. It can splatter the lights, and then when you want to go down the road, you can't see them. So automatically, as you open the door before it starts spreading, these things fold down and cover the lights. And then this is a metal strip that we bolted on when we got it. This protects this edge, because when you get string wrapped round or lead ropes from the horse muck, it knocks against the side and can start to wear the frame of the machine. So we put this piece of metal on as like a sacrificial strip to wear it away. But you can't really see much wear in that, to be honest. But I know the old muck spreader had gouges in where stuff had spun round. That is the only problem with this system, is if you get a piece of net wrap or a piece of string, it can wrap round these beaters. But I'm not sure who had it last, but they definitely cleaned it off before they brought it back, so thank you. Charlotte wants the trailer, but typically it's the back one, so I'll have to shuffle this out of the way, grab that one, and then she can go off to the dog field. These things keep multiplying. I think this one's full of aluminium, that one's full of small scrap. Ian's got one, oh, it's got the wrong reg on it. Ian's got one full of cans. Oh, well, the lights are working, just need to swap the reg. Can't find the yellow one, but surely a white one's better than nothing. This was a field that Rob levelled off before the rain. with the Toronto and the quad track. You can see with the quad track pulled out there, it's pretty waterlogged still. We didn't get it drilled. We'll have to hope that it dries up in the spring. You can actually see a flush of grass weeds, the green across it. So at least we can spray them off before we put something else in it. This field was potatoes last year, then beans, and then now, walking through here. Now we've drilled it with the Claydon, with the quad track, with wheat. Let's see if that isn't running across there, see how it blends in. John's managed to get on and spray it as well. Pretty wet on the headlands. Let's make the right racket. I was just come to see if I could see anything coming up yet, but doesn't look to be much sign. Oh, there you go, there's a shoot there, but something's been rooting at it. Yeah, there's another shoot just about to break the surface. And there's one there as well. That's been chewed off by a crow. It's obviously come really cold this week, although it does feel quite mild at the moment. No sign of it breaking out the ground yet. Fingers crossed. Because this field goes right the way pretty much to the airport. It's nearly 100 acres here. If that all comes up and looks well, I'll be happy, but didn't get the best of weather after it was drilled. Some shoots there maybe coming up, is it? No. Bring a trowel. A bit deep actually, the seed maybe. Oh, there it is. It's coming up, yeah, it's gone in a bit deep. It's quite loose because we'd have to level it off. So we've come on with the Claydon, trying to get the seed depth accurate and bury it, but not too deep. Sometimes can be a bit of a problem. At least it's sprit. If it's sprit, it's not going to rot. The headlands will, because the headlands are awful. But if you think the headland, if it's nearly 100 acre block, it's 4 or 5 acres of headlands, so be it. It's better to have 80 or 90 acres of good stuff in the middle than nothing sown. Aviation update. This is a winter bird seed mix. See the mustard now and the phacelia. Birds are tucking into that, and then underneath it, it's loud that, isn't it? Underneath it we've got this wheat crop appearing, sort of rising out the ashes. See? In the spring, hopefully we'll be left with a nice crop of wheat, and then this will all just turn into carbon after the birds have eaten all the little seeds off the top of it. There's a plan. The plan was to harvest some of that phacelia. I don't know whether we'll get any dry weather now, so it's just going to be bird food. But it's 15 degrees today. That's crazy for 1st of December, tomorrow, isn't it? Is it tomorrow? Yeah. If we'd had 15 degrees on the 1st of December, I would guess that's probably one of the hottest December days ever. Wish I had a dash cam then. I just got a pigeon with the corner of the mudguard. It's like a pillow. There's feathers everywhere. That's one less anyway. Now I was going to do the birthdays on here, but it's really dusty and these have dried on and I can't get them off, so I'll do it on the buggy. But the reason I wanted to do it on the sprayer is because of this RB. So sadly, Richard Bateman passed away a few weeks ago, the inventor of this magnificent sprayer company and concept. He lived in New Zealand. He retired to New Zealand 25 years ago, I think it was. So I got lots of messages telling me, and I didn't want to put anything in the video until the family were happy to put it public, should we say. So they did that yesterday on Instagram. But yeah, sad news. Hell of an engineer and inventor, and his legacy certainly lives on and is in safe hands with the rest of the family at Bateman. You might have seen the third generation at my video on Wednesday when we were at Crop Tech, because Sophie was there as well. So of course Jason is at the helm at the moment. But yeah, sad news. That is what the RB stands for in any Bateman sprayer. So I'll do the birthdays on the buggy. I do it on the buggy more now because there's a little bit more room than there is on the sprayer, because there's some days we've had loads, haven't we? And admittedly though, the first time in a long time we had none. I think there's about 4 or 5 today, so don't worry, you don't have to fast forward it. Not many. Oh no, Trevenis, I think he's 31, if that's how it's pronounced. I think he grows potatoes. Sarah Bernardini, I think it's pronounced. It's in the USA, in Washington. Happy birthday. Paul Harrison, that's an easy one, he's 60. George Arrowsmith's on that, and also John Pisley, get well soon. My Uncle John is in hospital, he's had a blood clot in his leg, so fingers crossed he's on the mend. We're now nearly 81,000 plus gift aid. Who wants to place a bet of when it'll hit 100,000? Will it be 2025 or will it be 2026? It's about 20 grand to go. Been doing it 2 and a bit, 3 years maybe. I think it'll be 2025. Maybe August time perhaps, don't know. Have a guess. Anyway, that is all for today. I've got a wedding reception to go to, and tomorrow I am off to Penrith because they've got a track to run and they want me to judge the tractors, which I don't like doing, but I'll take Olivia with me because she can be brutal. And maybe call at Charlotte and Roy's on the way up and see how their robots are settling in. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.